Hello, how's it going this evening? It's time to make a Pokemon tier list here. Alright, the only criteria I have for this tier list is how much I like the games, to be honest. I'm not going to be going any objective or anything like that. This is just how good I think the games are, how fun they are to play, how much replayability they have, how good are the characters, how good are the Pokemon in the region, how fun is it to beat the game? Is the post game fun? Is the DLC fun for the newer stuff? How good is the game? If I do I want to sit down and play this, or do I want to sit down and play this? Or do I want to sit down and play this? It's kind of going to be like that. So let's just get right into it here. Starting off with red and blue here. So this is the Kanto region. I do like the Kanto region. It's pretty good. It's nothing like S tier or anything like that, but it is definitely a good region. Good first region to be on. Fire or not fire red. Red and blue is old, so it's got a lot of it's a completely different game than like the newer ones because of the special splits and stuff like that. But I guess technically it doesn't hold up, but I still think that it's good, especially for its time. Like it paved the way for all the rest of the stuff to come out. They did a good job with the Pokemon in this region. They're pretty solid. I don't know if I'd put it top three, but uh, it's definitely a solid region, probably top half in terms of Pokemon design. Uh, the games themselves, the Kanto region is fun to play through. The gym leaders are pretty iconic. I can't lie. Uh, yeah, I mean it's Charizard, it's Blastoise, it's Venusaur. Starters are really good. Legendary is pretty good. While it is an old game, uh, it's still fun to play through. Even if like clearly there are better versions of this game to play nowadays. Regardless, I'm gonna give it a B tier. I think despite being old and outdated, it's still fun to play through. But clearly there's a lot of things that are better than it now. I guess we can just rank yellow while we're at it. Yellow is just a more fun version to play, so I'm gonna put it in B tier right above it. Uh, I think that it is a significant upgrade overall, and I kind of like how different it is, where you get Pikachu to start, and you can get the rest of the starters like throughout the game. It's kind of fun. Overall, it kind of plays the same, I guess. It is the Kanto region again. It's just the journey you take to get there is a little bit different. So um, overall, I think yellow is just a little bit of a more fun version of red and blue to play. I don't have much else to add on top of that. Gold and silver. So Johto region is not my favorite region. I kind of don't vibe with it very much. I don't think the starters are that great in the Johto region. I'm just not a fan of how it's laid out, I guess. The gym leaders are way less iconic than the Kanto region and many regions afterwards. The real cool thing about this is you can go visit the Kanto region afterwards. So like you get two regions in the game, so that's pretty sick. Lugia and Ho-Oh are the first two like duo legendaries in the game, so that's actually really sick, and they're both cool as hell. Ho-Oh's amazing. Um, Story in the game, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's probably on par with the first games. Overall, though, I think Gold and Silver is better than the originals. I think the Pokemon in the originals might be a little better. I'm not sure. I think I put it in A tier just because it's really fun. It's just fun to play through, I guess. Haven't played it for a while, if I'm being honest. But I remember going through the Elite Four in this game, and it was not easy. So, yeah, that was a thing. Uh, I started with Meganium, so that was my first mistake, but it was really fun. And the music in this game is really good, especially when you're fighting Lance. That's an iconic song right there. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with A tier. Johto region in general is just kind of what holds this game back for me, though. If the Johto region was more interesting, you know, maybe you'd be a little bit higher. But Crystal, I'm gonna throw in B tier. I don't think there's any. I don't know, man. I just like gold and silver better, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I mean, is this? I think this is the one where you can't even catch Mareep, right? Or is that golden? One of the two you can't. But overall, it tried to do what yellow did, but I don't think it did it as well. So I I put gold and silver above it. I put crystal down here in B. It was the first game with moving sprites when you summon your Pokemon, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm just gonna give it a B tier. I mean, enough said. Let's move on to Gen 3 here. Ruby Sapphire. Now, this is the first game that I played. I think the Hoenn region is my favorite region for sure. The Pokemon in the Hoenn region are insanely, like, consistently amazing. Rain, Aggron, two like goats right there. We got Salamence, we got Flygon. Obviously, you got Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza. You got Wailmer, you got Gulpin, you got just all these Pokemon. The starters. This is the best game for starters, best game for legendaries, best game for overall Pokédex. The region's really fun. I'd probably put it at one or two. I mean, the rival, I like the rival. The gym leaders are pretty iconic. Maybe not as iconic as Gen 1, to be honest, but they're amazing. I thought the story was pretty good in this game. I think Team Magma, Team Aqua was pretty fine. Um, I mean, it's fun. I mean, the Elite Four is really fun. It's got kick-ass themes. I don't know what else to say. It's S tier for me. Hoenn region is really good. And then Emerald came out, and it's just a better version of Ruby and Sapphire, so obviously S tier. The story is not much different, but it's cool. I like the redesign that they did on some of the characters. I guess all they really did is added some green, but the moving sprites in this game, I think were done like way better than Crystal, so that's a really, really nice addition. And overall, I think the team overhauls that they had from Ruby and Sapphire to Emerald for like the gym leaders and stuff were really good. The only part about Emerald that I think is straight up worse than Ruby Sapphire is the champion. I don't think Wallace has any business being the champion. Steven's just 59 times better, and that's an exact number right there. Uh, Wallace had no business being the champion, so I do like Steven better. But overall, I think Emerald is it's just really good. I mean, it's pretty close. Ruby Sapphire could be better than Emerald, but I'm gonna have to give it to Emerald here. Fire Red and Leaf Green, remakes of the originals. That's definitely an S tier game. It just took what the originals did, it modernized it, gave you some running shoes, and I mean the Kanto region's really fun to play through here. The stuff that they added into the game, like the Seven Islands and stuff, I mean, it's actually kind of fun. I don't hate it. The number one thing that I dislike about this game is that you can't evolve like your Onyx or your Golbat until you beat the game, I'm pretty sure. So that's kind of, I mean, unfortunate. And I don't know why remakes keep doing that. They should probably break that trend. But overall, like, this is the first time that I experienced the Kanto region was playing these games because I started on Ruby Sapphire, I went to Emerald, went to Fire Red Leaf Green. So um, then I went to Gold after that, and then I went to Yellow, and then I went to. But anyways, yeah, it's just a fun game. I like how different the dexes are in Gen 3 between Ruby Sapphire and Fire Red Leaf Green. So, I mean, it's a S tier to me. This is the best way to play Kanto to this day. I hope they port this game to the Switch too. It's freaking good, man. I don't know what else to say. S tier, Diamond and Pearl. I have a love-hate relationship with this game, I guess. When I first played it was when action replays were really popular, so I kind of ruined the region for me. Just because I did that and I never really experienced it until later, when I went back and beat it again without one. I don't know, man. This is a really slow game. The saving takes forever. It takes forever to walk around. It's just a slow-paced game. I mean, the starters are actually really good. I mean, Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup, all really good. I think Dialga and Palkia are really good. I love Giratina. It definitely never will compare to Cant or Hoenn, just because those are like my favorite Pokemon of all time. But I guess it's okay. I mean, the region's kind of fun to play through. It's just slow. So I mean, I don't know. The underground was really cool, where you build the secret bases. I remember my friends and I used to just grind that shit. So um, I I go back and forth between B and A. I think today I'm feeling A for Diamond and Pearl, but it's pretty low. I mean, it might be better than this. I don't know, man. It's probably gonna go right there. I do like the region of Sinnoh better than the region of Johto. The new Pokemon are actually pretty good. The starters are really good. The legendaries are pretty good, but I don't know if they're better than those two. I think it's probably above it. I'd probably put it right there. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. Um, the story in this game is actually pretty good. It's nothing special, but it's good. Solid enough. I enjoy it. So, Team Galactic's pretty good. I guess I didn't talk about Team Rocket at all, but I mean, they're pretty good too. There's not really a team yet that I think is bad. So yeah, Diamond Pearl A tier for sure. Platinum obviously upgraded on Diamond and Pearl. I probably put it right here for now. It's obviously S tier game. I don't know if I like it more than Fire Red and Leaf Green personally, but yeah, it's definitely going in S tier. I think it just takes what Diamond and Pearl did wrong and fixes it pretty much. It's still kind of slow, but it's just a little bit better. It's definitely the best way to play Sinnoh to this day, I think. I don't count Legends Arceus exactly as Sinnoh because it's not trying to be Sinnoh. So yeah, I think I put it in S. Yeah, I might move it above Fire Red Leaf Green, but I'm gonna hold off on that for now. Um, yeah, Platinum is the most. Well, actually, I beat Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl, but other than that, Platinum is the one I played it a couple of years ago again, and I had an Infernape and I had a lot of fun. So I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another thing about these games, Cynthia's probably one of the best champions that's ever existed, straight up. The Elite Four in Diamond and Pearl is way worse than it is in Platinum, so that's another reason why Platinum is better. I mean, I'm not a Battle Tower guy, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that that elevates it for me. I just like Platinum better, man. I don't know what else to say. Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I really got to replay these games because I'm not super into them. I have them below most of the time, but I'm gonna put them above them because it's probably better. I need to play them again here. Again, it's Gen 4 is just kind of slow on the DS. The load times are not great. I like that the Pokemon can follow you around, but it's not really a game changing. Like you don't gain a tier just because a Pokemon's following you around. It's the Johto region. It's whatever. I mean, like I said earlier, one of my least favorite regions, probably, if not my least. No, there's one that's way worse, but it's at the bottom somewhere down there. Actually, it's probably more towards the middle now that I'm looking at the rest of these. Yeah, whatever. It's somewhere around 6, 7 in best regions, which is actually middle now. So it's fine. I mean, I have it an 8 here, so it's a fun game, but compared to the rest of the games, it's still good. I mean, I should probably spread this out a little bit more, but I'm not going to do that. So, yep, A tier, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Black and White. This came out and I didn't get it right away, but then I started playing it afterwards. Probably like a couple months after it came out, and this got me back into Pokemon. I had fallen off for like a year or two before this game came out, and yeah, I think it's really cool that they had you start in a region with no old Pokemon in it. I don't know how like sustainable that would be. Like if Gen 10 came out and it had all new Pokemon and no old Pokemon. I mean, I think I'd probably like that a lot personally, but uh, I don't know how it would go over nowadays. But back in the day, this came out. It's all new Pokemon. It's just really fun to play through a game when it's all new Pokemon. And some people don't like the designs, but I think the designs are really good. I think the region is really good. I think the sprite work in this game, like the sprites in this game are peak. The sprites in Black and White are like the best. It's better than anything that came afterwards 3D wise, and it's better than anything that came before it. Like the sprites are amazing. The music in this game is amazing. The gym leaders, I can't say they're iconic because I only remember some of them, but it's still good. I mean, this game is really fun to play through. It's got a lot of cool features in it. I think this was the one with the plaza where you connect with your friends and you walk around that little circle plaza thing. Um, Yeah, the region looks good. The Elite Four is really good, actually. I beat that shit a lot. Um, I love grinding the Elite Four in these games when I beat them. So I grinded the crap out of this game. Because I like to grind for level 100. It's just my favorite thing to do, and it's something that the old games do a lot better than the new ones. So Black and White, it got me back in the series. I gotta put it in S tier, above Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's just better. Oh, one negative about Fire Red and Leaf Green is fighting the Elite Four over and over is kind of obnoxious because you got to go find that person in the cave after you beat it once. And I think putting Platinum below Fire Red and Leaf Green is kind of troll. I'm gonna switch that up a little bit, and there we go. That looks better. So yeah, I mean, Black and White is amazing. Like I hope to God that that game is being remastered this year. Like I want to play through it again on the Switch. I want every Pokemon region to be accessible on the Switch. So I'd love if they ported this game, and by that I mean ported Fire Red, ported Black and White. Uh, they can port Kanto. They could port this one, Emerald or Ruby Sapphire. I don't really care. They could port Oras if they want to. Um, Anyways, yeah, this game's really good. It got me back into Pokemon, got me hooked. Then I started telling my friend about Pokemon, and he got back into it too. So, I mean, Gen 5 is really underrated. It's really good. Black and White 2, I need to replay this game because I screwed myself. I'm gonna put it in the bottom of S tier. It's really good. Again, the battle tree thing at the end, people love that. I'm not I'm not gonna pretend to be a tree guy. I mean, I didn't beat it. I play Pokemon to catch Pokemon mostly, and then I like to train them to level 100. That's my favorite thing to do in the game. Oh, story. The story in Black and White and Black and White 2 is definitely number one in the series, if not number two. Um, there's one game that I think the story might be a little bit better in, but Black and White and Black and White 2 is just the best. They're really fun to play through. Um, Again, Black 2, I got to play through again because I kind of just traded over a bunch of Pokemon because I wanted to just get through the game so I could start training my Pokemon in the Elite Four again. So I didn't really experience it that well. So I guess of all the games I've ranked so far, this is probably the one that I have the least valid opinion on, just because I need to play through it again. But yeah, from what I did play, it's still really fun. It's definitely a top half game. Um, yeah, I mean, I'd probably put it right there. Uh, I like that it starts in a different place than Black and White 1. I love that it's a sequel to Black and White 1. That's epic. Uh, yeah, really good game. I wish they would do this more often. Like, I wish there was like a Scarlet Violet 2 that came out, or like a Sword and Shield 2 that came out, or whatever. A Black and White 3 would be epic. But yeah, so Black and White 2, bottom S tier. All right, X and Y. Um, I beat this game hella fast. Like when this thing came out, I grinded it. My friend came over, the same one that we played Black and White with, that got back into it, and we played through X and Y. Um, and I had all three starters on my team for the first time because me and him traded back and forth. So I had Chestnut. Did I have a Greninja? I don't think I had Greninja. I think it was just Chestnut and Delphox because he started with Fennekin and I started with Chespin. I don't think I had a Greninja because I barely knew who Greninja was until Smash. So anyways, I was playing this game. I thought it was really fun actually. I mean, Xerneas and Yveltal are low key kind of sick. Um, the region, it's okay. I mean, the game, it's okay. It's not as good as like Gen 5 or Gen 3 or even like Platinum. I think it's definitely on a level below that, but Mega Evolution is epic. I remember looking at that and doing that for the first time, and I was like, damn, this thing is amazing. This was the most invested in competitive I've been. Gen 6, just because it was so fun to like play with the megas and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, other than that, I think playing through the region itself is just okay. The Elite Four is weak. That's pretty bad. The best way to train to level 100 in this game with Pokemon was to go to a battle cafe. I did not like that very much, but it is what it is. I still played this game a lot. Um, Overall, I'd say it's pretty good. I like it more than Diamond and Pearl, but I don't think I can put it in S tier. So I'll put it at the top of A. I think Gen 6 is really underrated, and I think it's really good. I just the top games are just so good. It's not that. All right, as you can see, I'm a Gen 3 bias kind of guy, so I got Emerald and I got Ruby Sapphire 1 and 2. So when ORAS was coming out, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I was pretty hyped for that. Um, I have a really, really hard time ranking this game because it is Hoenn. It's my favorite region. It's got my favorite Pokemon in it. As you can see on the cover here, we got Omega Groudon and Alpha Kyogre origin forms. Those are both amazing. Like Mega Rayquaza, like everything about this game, like lines up and it should be better than the originals. It's just it doesn't hit like the originals do when I play through them. Like I have an easier time picking up Ruby than I do Omega Ruby and just playing through it. There are a couple changes that I guess I don't like. I don't love that you just get the Latios for free. And the Marvel City change is kind of cool, but it's not necessary, I don't think. Um, yeah, I mean, it something about it's just not. It's not as good as the originals were. Uh, maybe it's the EXP share, but you can turn that off. Then you feel stupid for turning it off. I don't know, man. I think it's just modern Pokemon versus old Pokemon. Like modern just makes everything really, really easy for you. It's That's probably what it is. But anyways, I'm gonna throw it an A at least here. I don't know if I like it more than X and Y just because X and Y is kind of it's original. I I gotta throw it above X and Y. It's more replayable. Do I throw it in S tier? I mean, it is borderline S tier. It's very replayable. I'm gonna leave it in A. I think it's fine there. Top of A. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's a good game. It's just it's not. It doesn't work as well as the originals, I guess. Yeah. I mean, Mega Evolution, cool. Getting a free Latios, not cool. Makes the game really easy, but yeah. Let's move on to Gen 7, Sun and Moon. So this game refuses to let you play the game for at least 4 hours while it's holding your hand, walking through all of the islands. No gyms is an interesting concept, and I don't think that it actually holds the game back. I actually don't mind the trial system. Uh, I think the game would probably have been a little better with gyms, but the main thing that really holds this game back is just how little you get to play in the beginning. Like it just holds your hand, it guides you through the game. This game is low key, kind of difficult. I remember playing through this and I was just getting killed like by a bunch of these wild Pokemon. Um, Maybe I'm just an idiot, but I don't know. It feels like the difficulty in this game is kind of high, higher than it is in Gen 6 for sure, and anything that comes after it, to be honest. But uh, it's just the hand holding is just too much, man, and it's just not as fun to play through as any of the games before it. I'm not gonna lie. Um, the new Dex, that's another thing holding back X and Y. The Dex is really bad. Forgot to mention that. But the Dex in this game it's okay. It's just nothing special. A lot of the Pokemon like that I do space on come from Gen 7 typically. Uh, it's just I did not connect with this game. I beat it once, caught a bunch of the guys afterwards, like the Ultra Beast and stuff like that. Didn't really touch it much after that. Yeah, it's definitely my least played region for sure. So, overall, game is hard to replay because of all the hand holding in the beginning. It's just frustrating. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a C tier game. I did not enjoy it very much. I'd rather, I'd probably rather play it than the originals, wouldn't I? Maybe I have those too high. I don't know. I think if I had to pick a game to play right now, I'd probably pick Red over Sun and Moon. It's not enjoyable. I don't think it's very enjoyable. And then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I mean, not going to be much better. The only thing that I'll give Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is the story mode. It's pretty good, actually. It's probably top three. I think the story in this game is definitely top three, up there with Black and White, and then a game we're gonna get to later. But you know, a story can only carry you so far, man. Um, yeah, I'm leaving it in C, man. Unfortunate. Team Skull's all right. Oh, Team Flare and X and Y is also terrible. The story in that game is mid too, but they probably have it way too. I like it there. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is not for me. I don't want to see a game like this again. I'm putting it at the bottom. I don't think the game's actually horrible. Like it's kind of fun to play through. It's just like that style of Pokemon that you get in this game is just not it. Like all the rest of the style that you get even in Sun and Moon is better. The only thing about this game that it actually is almost above Sun and Moon. Like the only thing that holds Sun and Moon back compared to this one would be the hand holding. I don't remember getting my hand held in Let's Go Pikachu. And while the leveling system is a little weird, I don't know, man. I don't think it's horrible. It's just not the preferable way to play Pokemon. It's Pokemon Go on the Switch, and it it's whatever, man. It's really cool how you can ride your Pokemon in this game, actually. Like once you beat it, like you get your Charizard, you just ride that shit around. So overall, I I like it. I don't think it's better than any other game in the series. I think that's the lowest one that I'm gonna have on the list. All right, Sword and Shield. When this thing was first announced, it was in the yikes category for me because they started announcing like, hey, all the Pokemon aren't coming back, and I just fell off a cliff at that point. I was like, I'm not playing this shit. So I got it anyways because I just say that kind of thing and then I buy shit anyways. Like you know how it goes. Pokemon has my money already. Gen 10's not coming out this year, but it has my money already. So yeah, I mean that turned me off of it for a while, so I didn't play it for the first year. I came back to play this game and I beat it. I actually had a lot of fun playing it. I think Hop is a way better character than the rival in Sun and Moon. How? I don't think he's very good. Region design in Sun and Moon was mid. Region design in this is very mid as well. The story in this game is pretty horrible. I do love the gyms in this game. They return and you're fighting in Coliseums. That's really fun, dude. Uh, Dynamaxing is horrible for competitive, but just playing through like the story mode in the game and like doing the raids and stuff, I think Dynamaxing is really fun as a casual mechanic. So I actually think Dynamaxing helps this game a little bit. And this is like the first game I think where you don't get the legendary before the Elite Four. So that's really interesting. I mean, you get Eternatus, but uh, that doesn't count. So like you don't get your box art legendary until you beat the game. I think that's really interesting, a super interesting way to do it. So overall, after that, the game had two DLCs, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. The Isle of Armor is pretty okay. I'd say the Isle of Armor is probably a B tier DLC. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's good. And then Crown Tundra is just the best DLC that they've ever released, like of any of the games. Like it's really good. It's got a good story. It's fun to beat, and then it has that Dynamax cave. I mean, that's just the most replayable thing of all time. Maybe not of all time, but it's one of the most replayable things of all time in Pokemon. It's just it's fun to go in there and just do raids. I remember doing Dynamax raids in this game is just legitimately fun. Like when I'm in the wild area, or if I'm most of the time it's a Dynamax cave, or I'm just going in there and we're shiny hunting legendaries, or we're doing this, we're doing that. We're just having a good old time doing some raids. It's really good post game content, and the DLC just blasters this game up so much, dude. It's like I can't even remember about Dexit at this point. I'm putting Sword and Shield in S tier above Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like I really enjoy this game. I think it's really good. It grew on me a lot when it first was announced and it first came out. I was like, F this game. I put it in F tier. But when I actually gave it a chance and I started playing it, and then I went through the DLC and all this kind of stuff, like, damn, this game's really good. Galar region sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. It's just it's lackluster, and the story in this game is extremely lackluster. But the Pokemon are really cool in this region, and the DLC is amazing, dude. Like, it's just good stuff. Definitely putting in an S tier. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. It's just Diamond and Pearl, but I think it's a little bit better, so I'd probably put it in A tier. If you're gonna play Diamond and Pearl or Brilliant Shining Diamond and Pearl, holy crap, it's 130. Uh, you're gonna play this one. I don't know what people are talking about with all the glitches and stuff. Like I never ran into any of that. The number one thing that I have on this game that I don't have on the originals is that I absolutely despise when your Pokemon gets KO'd and your Pokemon's like, wait a minute, I love you. I'm not dying. Like, dude, just die. Like I failed. I messed up. You died. You can't just live because you love me, man. Like that mechanic alone, like just this game would have been S tier if it didn't have that mechanic, but unfortunately, it had the mechanic. It's just, oh man, it frustrated me. But it's just replaying through the Sinnoh region again. It's good. I think it's good. I understand why people would be disappointed by it. Like if you don't like the art, you didn't want to remake a Diamond and Pearl, you want to one of Platinum instead. Sure. I mean, you're probably not going to like this game very much. If you actually experience the glitches, sure, you're probably not going to like this game very much. I did not experience the glitches. I don't care if they remake Platinum or Diamond. Obviously, Platinum's better, but if they remake the Sinnoh region on the Switch and I can play it on my Switch, I'm happy. I got all my Pokemon from the Sinnoh region back on the Switch now, so I'm happy about that. I mean, yeah, I'm just a happy guy overall. It's just a good game. Um, yeah, A tier. Definitely not any higher than that though. The chibi art style, I'm fine with it, man. It doesn't really bother me. I I don't really care. I'm not I'm not gonna go around complaining about it, but I can see why people would not like it. Like if you look at the chibi art style and you're like F this game and you don't want to play it because of that, like sure, man. I get it. No, I don't, do I? Well, I mean, if you really care about art that much, sure. Sure, man. If they remade black and white like this game, I would be 100% fine with that. As long as they get rid of that stupid mechanic where your Pokemon doesn't die because it loves you to death. Well, actually, no, it loves you to life because it refuses to die. So, but yeah, this game it's good. I'm fine, hoping that they get another chance at Black and White just to see what they can do with it. I guess in the end, sure, I would have hoped that this game was a little bit better. I had bigger expectations for it, but overall, as a remake, it does its job, man. It could have been better, obviously, but it does its job. Legends Arceus, this is like a completely different take on Pokemon, and it's amazing. I mean, walking around and catching the Pokemon in this game was like legitimately a blast. And then, I mean, like I remember I was playing this game and I would like send my party out between missions and stuff. Like I'd go back to Jubilee Town or whatever they call it in this game. It's either city or town, Jubilee Town, and I would throw all my Pokemon out. I'd just let them sit in a circle and I would look at them. Like I did not like Ponytail before this game came out, and then I had one on my team here, and I would just throw all my Pokemon out. I'd look at them, I'd talk to them, I'd interact with them in the world. Like I remember just loving that shit. And Ponytail is one of my favorite Pokemon now. Well, definitely not one of my favorites, but he's up there, way higher than he used to be. Uh, Exploring this region was just really fun. It was really fun to catch all the Pokemon. I'll dig on this game a little bit late game because you kind of start catching just the later evolutions of the stuff you started catching earlier. Not a big fan of that. I wish they would have given a little bit more diversity to the Pokemon late game when you're going up on the mountain, but it's kind of a small nitpick. But when the biggest thing you like about the game is catching the Pokemon and like exploring and that stuff, I guess it's a pretty decent dig, but overall the game's really good. I thought the story in this game was like surprisingly entertaining. The side quests were really fun. Like this is Pokemon done right. If it's not going to be like a linear game, like it's got to. Even the game is a little linear, but what I mean is like open world exploration. Like this is how you do it. You don't this is how you do it. This is this is the Pokemon game that we've wanted for a while. The one downside about this is the battling is kind of mid. Um, it's not horrible, and the only reason I say that is because I don't really care about battling myself. Like I just have fun battling other people. But if it's not as good as the normal series. So if battling is like your thing, I understand why you'd rank it lower, but to me it's not a huge issue. I'm gonna throw this thing right here in S tier behind black and white, I think. It's pretty close to being on par, but I think it put it a little bit behind. It's a really, really good 3D Pokemon game. Open world. That's how it's done. Scarlet Violet I like to describe as the exact opposite of Sword and Shield. So Sword and Shield had a dog water story, but the game is just like really, really fun to play. Scarlet and Violet has a god tier story. Like obviously, I when I said that Black and White was top 2 or 3, I was talking about Scarlet Violet being the other one. The story in this game is just freaking amazing. I remember going down to Area Zero for the first time after I became the champion. Like that is just, I think of every experience I've had in Pokemon, going into Area Zero for the first time and beating the game down there is the best stretch of Pokemon that exists in the franchise. Like that is so fun to do. Going down there it was just like shocking. I was invested into the game. Like you know how when you're just into a game you forget what time it is sometimes. I was so into that shit. It was amazing. The story's just it's really good, man. Team Star is mid as fuck, but oops. I mean it's mid. But yeah, it's Team Star has nothing to brag about. Their music's pretty cool, I guess. But then like on the flip side, like Sword and Shield has a dog story, but it's really fun to play. This game is a god tier story. I don't think it's as fun to play. The region performance is pretty terrible. I don't like how the Pokemon spawn in the open world. It's just not as good as Legends Arceus, because in Arceus you don't have to get in a battle, you can just catch a Pokemon. In this game, they get in your way when you're riding the bike. You still gotta. I don't like the Pokemon battle screens when they're not fixed. It's not my thing. Um, I don't think raids are as fun with Terra as they are with Dynamaxing. So terrestrialization I think is better for competitive. I think for a single player game experience it's worse than Dynamaxing. Dynamaxing is more fun. Terra's not bad. It's pretty close to being on par. It's just a little bit worse. Nothing as bad as Z moves, man. I hate Z moves. But it's okay. The starter Pokemon, I haven't talked about that shit for a while. So they're pretty. Well, I mean, one of them's pretty good. I'm a Mega Coco guy, but I think Quaxly's awful. Um, yeah, it's fine. Uh, I don't know how much I like you getting the legendary right away, but it adds to the story. I mean, why is the story so good in this game? It's got no business being that good. Um, yeah, DLC. The first one was pretty good. It was probably on par with the Armored Island one maybe, and then the second one, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's probably on. I don't know. It's my least favorite personally, but it's probably close to being on par with the other ones. Um, yeah. So this game's really hard to rank. Story's really fun. The game's amazing to play through the first time. There's like nothing to do after you beat the game, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of shiny hunting stuff you can do, and you can eat a sandwich a day, keep the doctor away, kind of deal. But I am not a big fan of making a sandwich every day of my life. Um, Shiny hunting is okay. I I don't know, man. I don't know where to put it. I think it's probably store the story probably carries this game and puts it in high A. There was a point where I had this as my third favorite game in the franchise, but after looking at the performance and just how boring the game is to play after you beat the story, I can't put it at third place, man. Like when you beat Emerald Story, like I can play that game like for hours and hours afterwards. Say with Ruby, can't do it with Scarlet Violet. You just can't. So, yeah. Let me make sure I have everything in order here. Yup, yup. Yep, yep. So first place Emerald, second place Ruby Sapphire, third place Black and White, fourth place Legends Arceus, fifth Platinum, sixth Sword and Shield, seventh Fire Red Leaf Green, eighth Black and White 2. I mean these games are pretty close. Ninth, I'll put Scarlet Violet. 10th can be Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Maybe I should swap those two. Nope. 11th is going to be X and Y. 12th is going to be Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. 13th, Diamond Pearl. 14th, this is going to be a crime against humanity when people see this, but it's Heart Gold Soul Silver. 15th, Gold and Silver. 16th, Yellow. 17th, Red and Blue. 18th, Crystal. 19th, Sun and Moon. 20th, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and 21st, this. Pikachu and Eevee. Let's go, baby. Uh, yep, that's what the order is going to be here. Thanks for watching the video. I'm guarantee you everyone's got a different opinion in this game. Tell me what your rankings are. I'll respond to whatever you got. Thanks for watching.